Hi, Sebastian Katz with Audio Bro here. One of the most challenging areas of virtual instruments for both composers and developers alike is handling complexity. How do you take something fundamentally feature-rich like modern scoring strings and make it simple to use? For users of Cubase and Nuendo, our included expression maps take deep features that would normally be relegated to many layers of unlabeled CCs or host automation and makes them instantly accessible. It's like deep editing without all the editing. Let's dive in. First, open any modern scoring strings instrument in Cubase. There's just one change we need to make. Open the Snapshots menu and load the DAW Integration preset. Next, open the Expression Map editor and load one of our included expression maps. For now, let's start with a good basic key switching example. And notice there are a few different presets which have different start notes for the key switches. Believe it or not, at this point the integration is complete and you can already start writing. In addition to using the assigned key switches to change in real time, you can now also assign detailed articulations to any of your sequenced notes. A quick bow change legato, a tighter variety of staccatissimo short, trills in a specific key, or an ostinato that is set up to play just the way you like. All of that can be accessed in a click without ever leaving your music or touching a CC. One challenge that we've run into with expression maps is that when you open the controller lane, you'll find it's basically unusable, and that's because our expression maps are so detailed. So by default, we're using attribute articulations, which allows you to assign them to your notes using this menu. I personally really like working this way, assigning articulations to each note. But if you do want to use the controller lane, you'll have to pare down the articulation list to a size that Cubase can show on screen. Now, besides the quick access that you get to all the features in modern scoring strings using expression maps, there are some other benefits to working this way as well. For one, your key switches won't show up in your MIDI, and they won't muck up your score view. And because your articulation changes are now glued to the note data, it means that you never have to worry about moving an articulation key switch or CC data point if you move your notes. Here are a few more tips that may be helpful. It's easy to switch your view so that your notes are colored by articulation, and this can really help with visibility. You might have noticed earlier that when we loaded our DAW integration snapshot into modern scoring strings, there was a secondary, smaller version. This secondary small version omits the heavier RAM articulations like ostinatos and scales. So if you're looking for a leaner setup, you can use this small version and leave everything else as is. It will work just without access to some of the articulations that require more RAM. This setup guide assumes that you're going to make any customizations to modern scoring strings instruments after loading the DAW integration snapshots. If, on the other hand, you've already set up instruments the way that you like, made some mix changes, ensemble changes, or similar, you won't want to load the snapshot since it will overwrite some of those settings. Instead, just add the DAW compatibility yourself. Here's how. First, open the switcher editor. Change the first tile switcher bank to velocity stack mode, and then the second tonality switcher bank also to velocity stack mode. That's all you have to do. There are, of course, many simple customizations you can make to the included expression maps. You can open the editor and change your key switches completely. If you want to add a new key switch to get to one of the more advanced articulations in real time, all you have to do is assign a note to it. And if you want to pare down the full articulation list, you can do that too. Just remove whatever you don't want to use. And if you remove enough options, the controller lane will become usable. We really hope that using the expression maps included with modern scoring strings will allow you to get up and running very quickly and get access to some of the most advanced sub-articulation settings we have available in the library. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.